office. We also have Gabe on the line with us, and Kim is on the line with us today as well. Today's webinar is going to be all about our network resources. So we are lucky enough to have some of these other company representatives on the line with us as well. They're going to speak briefly into their different businesses, what they have to offer, and maybe how they can be a resource to your company. To start, I'm going to go ahead and just do a brief overview of these different brands and companies that align with us here at the Evans Network of Companies. And then we're going to go ahead and hear from some of our experts at those companies. The first one we have here is ARC Transit. ARC Transit is a single point of contact drayage solution headquartered in Wilmington, North Carolina. And they are going to help either provide freight for your trucks or provide capacity for additional volume. Just some quick info on ARC. They were acquired here with the company in September of 2020, and they have about 30 employees. Next up, we have Rail Plus, which is a door-to-door intermodal offering to supplement your rubber wheel solution to your customers. For dray capacity agents, there are freight opportunities focused on turning equipment to attract efficient business. Rail Plus is headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida, and they were acquired when CSX partnered with Evans to run that Rail Plus business in August 2020, and they have approximately 20 employees there in Jacksonville, Florida. Next up, we have our New Age Logistics. New Age Logistics is a company located in Palatine, Illinois, acquired in May of 2018. They are the company just recently also, first quarter this year, opened up offices in Florida and Georgia. They have about 42 employees plus additional that are being brought on in those Florida and Georgia offices. A little bit about New Age there. The agent can be the front of the house to the customer, and New Age can be the back of the house to the vendors, or New Age can run both sides, cradle to grave. They can support all things domestic ground transportation, expedited hotshots, truckloads, cross docks, and drayage are some of the more common solutions. Next, we have DM Transportation. They are a single point of contact operations for all thing LTL, final mile, and reverse logistics. They are third-party capacity offering industry-focused tech to make agent interactions with DM a reality. DM was formed in 1995 and is located in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. Our Great Wide Truckload Management, they're also located in Pennsylvania, in Langhorne. They have approximately 100 employees at that office, and they are an agent model entity focused on domestic, over-the-road van, flatbed, and specialized equipment. Did I say if I didn't? They were also acquired. They were acquired 2017 along with Packard. Packard is also a 2017 acquisition here with the Evans Network, and they are a flatbed solution dedicated system with trucks and brokerage ability, and they are headquartered in Chicago, Illinois, and they have approximately 25 employees in that office. And last but not least, we have our West Motor Freight Company, which is another agent model entity focused on domestic over-the-road van, flatbed, and specialized equipment. They're also located in Boyertown, Pennsylvania, and between both DM Transportation and West Motor Freight, there are approximately 70 employees in that Boyertown office. West Motor Freight was the first acquisition that the Evans company had in 1988, and Mr. Evans acquired West Motor Freight to expand the business and grow into different markets. So the first company to talk a little more into, we have West Motor Freight, Packard, and Great Wide. And we're lucky enough to have Mike DiDonato on the line with us. Mike, if you are available, if you are ready, you can go ahead and give us a little more detail into those companies.
All right, thanks, Dan. My name is Mike DiDonato. As Dan had said, I'm the Northeast Director of Sales and Agent Relations on the truckload side of the network. On the screen there, you'll see basically 4 brands that are embedded on the truckload side. Packard, Great Wide, which has a couple of brands within itself, Great Wide, Dallas Mavis, American Trans Freight, Cheetah under there, and then E-Transport Carriers, which was another acquisition, formerly SunTech, asset-based, primarily in the Southeast, but they have some offices in other locations at E-Transport Carriers. So between those 4 brands, we have about 2,200 trucks on the truckload side of that network. Most of those are going to be dry vans in the West, Great Wide, E-Trans realm, with some open deck and reefer options there as well, refrigerated options. Packard will be primarily our open deck member of division for those needs. Most of the trucks are domiciled to our agents as they are on the Evans side of it. However, Great Wide and Packard do have a central dispatch and central truck component. Great Wide runs about 250 of those trucks, with Packard anywhere between 90 and 100. So if your customers have those needs, and it doesn't match one of our agents' offices, the central dispatch options are available there as well. On top of that, we do have a handful of agents that specialize in hazmat moves. So if you do have a customer, again, that needs something moved in a hazmat over the road capacity, we do have agencies that specialize in those areas. On top of that, we do have some brokerage only offices, some offices that run brokerage and assets, and do a mix of those. So a wide range of services there available. And again, we're always looking to expand business with our customers. So if there is someone on another side of the network, or you're looking for a certain area you don't have to meet a customer need, we stand ready to help with that. And I'd be glad to put you in touch with any of our agent offices, central dispatch offices, and help facilitate that any way that we can.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mike. A lot of great insight there, and we really appreciate you being able to share that with us.
Thank you.
Alrighty, next up we have Rail Plus, which leads into Rail Plus for 2 slides, and then New Age Logistics. Matt McCoy, if you are available, this is your spot to shine there, sir.
Oh, fantastic. I hope everybody can hear me. If for some reason you can't, feel free to yell. I appreciate the introduction. For those of you on the call who are in the intermodal space, providing truck service for origin or destination dray moves, many of you have done business with Rail Plus. Rail Plus is a great resource to drive freight into our network. If you've not been able to take advantage of that, you'll notice the highlighted triangle provides the density, the network that CSX services as a primary service provider. So if you're looking for freight in that network, strongly suggest that you reach out to Bradley Hoover. You'll find his information in the global address book. Please note there's no E in Bradley. Save yourself a little bit of hurt there. Bradley had to correct me a number of times because I misspelled his name, but great guy, easy to connect with, and certainly looking to grow opportunities. The other side of the CSX network is their ability to provide a one-stop shop access to intermodal service. Intermodal service being effectively a replacement for rubber wheel over-the-road truckload service. Many times, point to point, the time of transit is very similar to over the road. a lot of times from a cost perspective, you can actually reduce transportation cost. And then in the freight brokerage world, that gives you the opportunity to either reduce your cost to the customer or increase your margin contribution. Sometimes you'll split the difference and give a little, take a little. But Bradley and his team are well versed in volumes, capacity, and service times. Certainly someone to reach out to, especially if you're building a brokerage, you're looking to grow that service offering to your customers. Access to intermodal moves allows you to be a little bigger than you really are, provides access to additional capacity. And in lanes where CSX is providing high volume, you're really able to deliver some valuable service to your customers. Again, it's for those of you who maybe haven't dealt with a door-to-door product through intermodal service, it is akin to a truckload move. You're dispatching a single service provider, Rail Plus, and then they take care of the origin dray, the rail component, and the destination dray for delivery. So you'll see here the two different segments that Rail Plus can deliver value to, both directly to assets as freight opportunities, as well as in the brokerage space being an underlying service provider. Again, feel free to reach out to me. I'll gladly connect you with Bradley and his team, or as I mentioned, you can access Bradley directly through the global address book, Bradley_Hoover@evansdelivery.com. Dan, if you'll flip us over to the next one. New Age, not to sound like I'm repeating all of the same verbiage, but New Age can offer you much the same service in the truckload space that CSX can offer in the intermodal space. So New Age can offer both freight opportunities to you as an asset operator. They can also be an overflow or a supporting mechanism in the brokerage space. So we'll focus a little bit more in the brokerage space. You can work directly with Ron Tessendorf. His email, I believe, is ron.t@newagelogistics.com. Again, Ron is in the global address book, as are his other team members that he'll connect you with. But Ron will offer to provide service either as your underlying carrier, understanding your customer understanding that will then be brokered to a third-party carrier. So while it's an intercompany move, we always want to make sure the customer understands the connection to the actual operating authority moving the freight. New Age can operate there. New Age can also operate as the direct service provider to the customer, wherein the agent with the freight effectively operates as a sales agent, taking care of the sales side. Let Ron's group operate and move the freight, and then you're able to share in the gross margin split based on the program from New Age to the sales agent. So I don't have those specific numbers in front of me. That's a great conversation to have with Ron, or that any of our service members here can participate and support. But at the end of the day, both CSX, New Age, really the presentation here in total, you'll hear it from Mike on the DM side, is there's a number of different support mechanisms, intermodal, over the road, LTL, on through the entire transportation spectrum. But the point is that there's resources. Don't hesitate to reach out or to raise your hand for support. We can always help you be bigger to your customer than you are with your own two hands. Thanks, Dan.
Thanks so much, Matt. Really appreciate your time and knowledge there, and for sharing some information on both Rail Plus and New Age. So thank you. Alrighty, next up we have DM Transportation, and we have General Manager of DM Transportation, Mike Lowell, on the call with us today. So Mike, if you are available, if you'd like to speak into DM a little bit, we'd love to hear from you.
Awesome, thanks so much. And hello, everybody. So as mentioned earlier, DM is a full service provider, primarily focused on the LTL 1 to 6 pallets of freight. We do handle more than 6 pallets, more on a managed transportation basis, but 1 to 6 pallets is certainly the sweet spot. So if you, your customers, your agents have anything within that 1 to 6 pallets, whether that's business to business, business to consumer, going residential, Reverse logistics is very big now. Anything within that 1 to 6 pallet range, we would certainly love to help you out with it. And that's it in a nutshell. Again, we lean on our partners, New Age and West, for anything over that. But 1 to 6 pallets, we would certainly love to help out. How we currently help out the agents, as you see on this slide, for spot quotes, you can reach right into our dispatch office. We could either bill your agent direct and then you would bill your customer, or we could actually have a direct relationship with that customer. Both options work. It's really whatever's better for you and your customer. So that's it in a nutshell. Certainly reach out to us if we can be of any assistance on that 1 to 6 pallet range.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Mike. Really appreciate you joining and speaking about DM for us.
You got it.
All righty. And we rounded out today with ARC Transit, and we have their Chief Operating Officer, Keith Hansen, on the line with us today. Keith, if you are available, we would love to hear from you.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining. Thanks for the very nice introduction. Just wanted to talk a little bit about ARC Transit. I probably met a good portion of you guys on the phone at the agent meeting. Not if I didn't get a chance to meet you, or if you weren't there, I look forward to the future. We're ARC Transit. We're in Wilmington, North Carolina. I am the Chief Operating Officer for the company. I have a great team that works with me in Wilmington of about 30 people. Just moving container freight every day on a brokerage basis. We move about 4,000 containers, roughly about 180 deliveries a day. That include supplementals and things like that, like second round trips to go pick up empties and things like that. So the number is a little higher than that. We're predominantly located in the Southeast, Midwest. We dabble a little bit in the North Pacific and a little bit in California, a little bit like that. So if there's ever a need in those areas, if the agent's on with us there in those areas, we can definitely help you out, steer some freight your way. We kind of specialize in steady, high volume lanes. For example, we may move 20 loads a day to the Winston-Salem, North Carolina area out of to the same customer out of the ports of Savannah, Charleston, Wilmington, Norfolk. We go for them. Our goal is to first and foremost, put this freight on partner carriers, Evans carriers. We're as we say here. So our goal is to give, first and foremost, give it to Evans and then go to the outside carriers of the world, our competitors, so to speak. We are, as you can see on the screen here, we're launching a program. It's in the testing phase right now. We're testing with a couple small carriers just to iron out any bugs before we launch it. We don't want to put a bad taste in y'all's mouth and have a problem with it. So we want it to work spot on. Our goal with the EDI program is really to automatically do the data entry for you. We just load right to your system. It auto-populates, you accept it. You don't have to data entry, as I said. You also don't have to provide any status updates. It's going to just from you entering dates in milestone fields. We can also provide, extra power if your customers, if you have a customer that needs help in an area that you don't cover, or maybe you've got a booking of cargo that's too many containers for you to move in a day, we can help with that. We can set you up as sort of a sales agent in that area, and we're kind of piloting that right now with a couple folks under Ryan Bates Purvey, working out well. It's really providing some value-added services. With ARC, there is no credit collections. There are no agent risk. You move a load for us, you have no issues. You're not going to get put on, that customer's not going to get put on credit hold. You're not going to get put on an agent risk. There's no chargebacks. There's no problems in that manner. So we really we just be a partner with everybody. We want to grow with everybody. If anything we can do for you at all, if you have trucks available in the Southeast, out West, Midwest, or if you need help with some cargo out in those areas, just reach out to us at we have a catch-all email address. It's operations@arctransit.com. That's arctransit.com. And we'll be glad to help you guys, and just looking forward to moving this freight down the track, so to speak.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Keith. Some great insight there into ARC and the different capabilities that we have with ARC Transit. I really appreciate you presenting that information, Keith.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions at all for any of our guest speakers, myself? Feel free to unmute yourself if you do. More than happy to help answer any questions you might have. If you don't have any audio, there is that questions box as well. Feel free to go ahead and type any questions you have into it. Hey, Debbie, I see you unmuted yourself.
I did. I have a question about LTL freight. And is DM Transportation our only LTL provider for, I guess, the preference of 1 to 6 pallets? Or does New Age and ARC and any of the other folks that we met here today, do they also offer the LTL?
So that's a good question. I believe, Mike, and totally correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe DM is the only LTL option. But Keith, Matt McCoy, if anybody has any other insight into that, feel free to go ahead and speak up as well.
Yeah, we at ARC Transit do not dabble in the LTL. We definitely leave that to the professionals. They do a great job at it, and we would not. So we definitely want to leave it in their hands.
It's definitely very specialized, isn't it?
Indeed.
All right, great. Thank you.
A great question, Debbie. Thank you for asking. Does anybody else have any questions or anything they would like to comment on or share with us? Feel free to unmute yourself, or you can go ahead and drop a question in that questions box.
Well, and Dan, if I may jump in just to add an answer to Debbie's question there. As a point of reference, and this is an actual example from about 2 months ago, we did have an agent book an LTL move directly with the carrier. When I talked to that agent, connected them with Mike and his team at DM were able to reduce the carrier cost by approximately 50%. Which represented a huge win for the agent on the margin side, also was able to reduce the cost to the customer. So while an agent may go directly to an LTL carrier, you're getting no benefit of the volume and the expertise that DM represents. DM's got the back office horsepower, they've got the relationships, they've got processes that make the entire thing much easier, and it's a handoff versus having to chase down an LTL move by way of going to a specific website, plugging in a tracking number. It's a handoff, and you can almost set it and forget it and just pick up your paycheck at the end of the week. So I always suggest going to Mike and his team, at least to let them take a look at it.
Perfect. Thank you, Matt. That was very beneficial information. Thank you. Does anybody else have anything they would like to add? We'll wait on here for a few more minutes, but if not, I really do appreciate you all for joining us today. I did record this webinar as well, so if anybody would like to share it, let me know. I can send you that link as well. And yeah, thank you for joining us on this Tuesday afternoon.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it.
Wednesday afternoon. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Everybody have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.